Fine. Now, did you? I think it was you I saw it with. It was The Great Wall. You remember that movie? The really bad
Oh, that
Chinese
with
one?
what's his face?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Except this time he goes to China instead of Mars. And every other conceivable place that's really hard to get out of.
Now that would be a lot more interesting if all of the giant lizards attacked Matt Damon on Mars instead of on China.
I think they had a movie like that, but I don't think Matt Damon was a part of it.
Oh.
I forget the movie. Regardless,
So powered flight.
it's a thing.
The thing about trying to do the history of invention is that it's sort of weird. It's not usually big incremental steps. Usually it's sort of a slow progression. So things get dicier the farther back you get. You know, like what was the first car? I don't know. Does a dopey French guy taking a gigantic fuck off boiler and attaching it to a tricycle ox cart and puttering it around count as a car?
Maybe.
Maybe not. Have you seen that thing with like the boiler that sticks like over the end so it just looks super off balance?
I can't say that I have.
It's goofy.
You'll send it to me later.
Okay.
The
Yeah. People wanted to do flight forever, you know. Insert inspirational quote about looking at birds or something.
yeah, we'll add it in the post credits, or in the post edit, one or the other.
Editor, add an epic quote about birds or something.
Oh yes, and as they say in the ancient Chinese language, "Hing Kuo Xing Kai Bo."
Ever since man first looked at a bird, he wanted to eat it. But as soon as he got enough to fill his belly, he could sit around and think about what else birds were good for.
Here's a dumb question: why didn't anybody just go and be like, "Yo, let me train a bunch of birds and just duct tape them to a chair or something and fly that way"?
They tried that.
Did they?
Well, there's... The thing about France is that it's very old and full of lots of French people. And they've had lots of time and people to fuck around and find out.
Let's see what happens.
Skipping right over the hot balloon and going to the goose-drawn hot air balloon carriage.
Oh, I love it.
They drew all kinds of funky flying machines, all sorts of little balloons that people would pedal with bicycle type stuff, and at least one of them I remember seeing was a hot air balloon, and it was just there was a dude standing in the balloon with like reins like you would have for a carriage, but they're all tied to a bunch of geese.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a balloon. You can't fucking steer, you know? Like, you're sort of at the mercy of the wind and stuff. And they fucked around with the balloon enough to figure out that maybe being at the mercy of a flock of geese was better than being at the mercy of the wind.
Well, you got to make sure to feed the geese with the bread.
That's right.
Because if you don't, no powered flight.
Right, you got like a really, really long fishing pole with a loaf of bread on the other end.
That's how we steer it. We just...
I mean, even if the geese-drawn hot air balloon worked, like, they would only go north, wouldn't they? Or south, depending on the season.
I don't know. It depends on what hemisphere you're
Ah,
into.
yes, the French ballooners are migrating again.
Oh, no. How are we going to get from place to place if they keep going south? Oh, I guess we'll try again next year. Maybe it'll be different. Little do they know, every year the geese go back to the south.
Yeah, they don't actually go back. They circle the whole planet. They don't actually ever... Wait, they don't... Fuck. Whatever.
I don't know. They do something. We'll you know what? We'll get back to these guys. The So, who actually did the first powered flight? Was it the Wright brothers, or was it more? I mean, what? Because I guess to me, what
Uh,
constitute?
there's there were plenty of people who tried before the Wright brothers. The Brazilians claim that some French dude came down to Brazil and built a powered airplane before the Wright brothers.
Yeah, but there's no tangible proof or whatever.
I sure haven't seen any, but the Brazilians sure seem to believe it. But they are Brazilian.
I mean, I'm all for nice Brazilian wax, but I don't know about a Brazilian powered flight because I mean, at least in school they teach you the Wright brothers, you know.
Well, I guess in Brazilian school they would teach you it was Mr. French Brazil. I don't know.
French Brazil.
I don't know. Let's look him up.
That's a smart idea. We can get her name instead of, oh, yes, that Brazilian guy.
Yeah.
There's only like 100 of those. So I guess my curiosity is getting the better of me. What was his design?
Albert Santos Dumont.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound French at all.
Number 14 bis.
14 bis. What is that?
I don't know.
I do not know.
Inspired by rumors that the Wright brothers had made flights in Ohio, this dude made his first airplane a couple years later. Originally intended to be tested by dangling beneath the gas bag of his airship.
Oh.
He had a pusher biplane featuring a canard.
Canard. What is that?
It's French. It means
It's French. You heard him, folks.
I think
it's
it means
French.
bill. It doesn't mean duck or something.
Okay.
We'll ask computer canard. Okay, that's not the right definition that I'm looking for.
Well, regardless.
You know how like a goose has a long neck
Yeah, they got
with the
some
wings at the back?
pretty long